Finally, Donald Trump is seen as an international pariah. Justice is served. I have to tell you, folks, I've felt lonely the last 15 years. Every single person who would talk to me about it, I would tell them, Donald Trump is a fool. He's an imbecile. He deserves no respect. He is a perfect example of doing everything wrong when it comes to communicating through the media. And for 15 years, I've been told that I was wrong. People say, what do you mean? He's a successful businessman. In fact, international polls and polls in the U.S. shows that until very recently, Donald Trump was the most respected businessman in the world, ahead of even Warren Buffett. This, in addition to the fact that Trump is routinely lied, bullied, been brought back, and just made up stuff about his political intentions, his net worth, you name it. There are very few things out of Donald Trump's mouth that don't appear to have been absolute lies for the last several decades. And yet, seemingly things just bounced right off of him. Claimed that Obama's a Muslim, wasn't really born here. Those things just bounced off of him. Finally, Donald Trump went too far even for Donald Trump by proclaiming that Mexico is sending its rapists to America and sending its people with infectious diseases. Finally, the walls have come crumbling in. I say not a moment too soon, about 15 years too late. We're now seeing Donald Trump's, I don't know if I'll say business empire, because I don't know how big his business empire is, but certainly his media empire is crumbling. Univision not wanting to do business with him anymore. NBC not wanting to do business with him anymore. Macy's, on and on and on. ESPN, major corporations, major media organizations no longer wanting to be associated with Donald Trump. He has become toxic. One can only hope after he fails miserably at his presidential campaign that he just goes off and goes into hiding somewhere, because he certainly outlived his usefulness. Now, Donald Trump does show that if you just say obnoxious things, you can be a troll and get a lot of media attention. But there are limits to that game. It's one thing if you are Ann Coulter and you're consistently saying provocative things that are intellectually consistent. She has been consistently a conservative Republican. But Donald Trump is just all over the ideological map. He's been pro-Hillary, he's been pro-Clinton, he's been pro-universal health care, he's been pro-taxing the wealthy, he has been pro-everything across the ideological spectrum. So he clearly has no consistent political values. It's just about how he can get his face on TV and his name in print and in text and in the news media. And at some point, people feel enough is enough. If you're literally willing to say anything to get in the media, then you are literally not worth anything. You have no ideas. You are just, you're really no better than someone who just walks by and kicks a defenseless animal because you like hearing the sound of a cry. So Donald Trump, you might not be on Skid Row yet, but the days of you being an agenda setter, of having your own primetime broadcast network TV shows, of being treated as a serious player, those days are over. And yeah, I realize he could still win a primary or two, or certainly come in second place here and there, but that's utterly meaningless.